Okay, so good evening, everyone. Good evening to all of you, and welcome back to GDC English classes, guys. So the NIPER is over, right? Hi, everyone. How are you, champs? Yeah, all right there, sub. Everything is all right. Guys. Anyone is there? 15 people are there. Psychology से 50 plus question थे. क्या बात कर रहे हो? नाइस क्वेश्चन गुड इवनिंग दिवेक है ना गुड इवनिंग आज तुम गुड इवनिंग नहीं बोलोगे दिवेक है ना okay guys good evening and welcome back to GDC English classes over here okay so I know and I got to know the paper was tough enough right and you had a very few questions from pharmacology just few questions from GK few questions only from cognosy right है ना few questions from your statistics part only है ना so how much is that? Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Shivani. Good evening, Santosh, Divek. Sir, 50 plus 50 minus 49 करिए. अच्छा, ओके, गजब. हाँ तो एक ही क्वेश्चन था कॉलोजी से. All right. Many from chemistry. Okay. Many from chemistry. What about Sutix case? What about Sutix? Sutix, microbiology, and your biotechnology. What about that? Non-pharma जिसका इतना डर था वो मेरा बहुत अच्छा गया. Okay, that's nice, Divek. That's nice. Very nice. All right. Hmm. How was your that portion of Sutix, your microbiology, biotechnology? Huh? What was that over there? हाँ guys. Sutix के अच्छे थे. Okay, okay, Divek. All right. Okay, guys. So how many questions you have attempted? How many questions you have attempted in total? In total. Hmm. How many questions was attempted in total, guys? Calculations related to Sutix, sir. Okay, Shivani. All right. Good evening, Sachin. Good evening. Yeah, guys. How many questions were there? How many questions you attempted? That's what I asked. Huh? Yeah. I know some of the students are saying, sir, it was moderate to hard. It was very hard. Hana? We were preparing for the pharma. Hana? We were preparing for the non-pharma, but non-pharma came easy. Pharma went tough. Hana? Pharma went tough. And this is what unexpected. Hana? This is, to be honest, it is unexpected from the neighbor that they have first they have changed the paper pattern, then now the questions type, Hana, and even the frequency of questions coming from the main core subject was also goes down. From pharmacology, I got only 7 to 9 questions only from pharmacology. Hana, that was really low. I think ecology is one of the major subjects of NIPER or any pharma competitive examination, but ecology question only 8 to 9 only I got. Cognosy only one I got. Hana? All right. Okay, guys, let's go ahead now with the memory-based questions, Hana, with some explanation of pharmacology as well as your pharmaceutical chemistry over here. Okay, 162 questions attempted. Okay, Sachin. All right. Devek, how many questions you attempted? Santosh, Shivani, Anand? Yeah, any other persons as well? How many questions you attempted, guys? How many questions you attempted over there? Yeah, Ecology was really less, na? Yeah, I got to know. Alright, guys, fine. Let's go ahead now and solve these NIPER based, memory based questions with some explanation. We have got only few questions as of now, right? And whatever we have got, let's try to explain over there only. Okay, around 170 Shivani on. Very nice. Very nice, Shivani. You still have a chance then. Alright, chalo guys, let's go ahead with the first question over here. है ना? Okay. So pharmacology and allied subjects over here. Okay, haloperidol belongs to which chemical class of drug? Okay, was this question over there, guys? Was this question over there? Haloperidol belongs to which chemical class of drug? Antipsychotic, epileptic, anti-anxiety, or sedative? Hana? Anyone? Was this question over there? Simple, easy most question you can say, right? Around 170, na? Yeah, I got to know, Shivani. Yeah, this question was there or not? Yes, but option were different. Okay, no worries, no worries, no worries, no worries. So correct option over would be haloperidol is nothing but your antipsychotic, right? That is your typical psychotic, right? Typical antipsychotic, typical antipsychotic, right? Typical antipsychotic that you know. Hana? Simple, that was a correct option. Very easy question, na? Very easy question, right? Okay, now next question. Antipsychotic, simple, right? Okay. Antidote of methanol poisoning. Was this question over there? Was this question over there, guys? Huh? Antidote of methanol poisoning. Anyone? Yeah? Antidote? Hmm? Antidote of methanol poisoning? Butyrophenone was the option for haloperidol. Okay, Shivani Anand. Okay. Huh? So this was asked over there or not? Antidote of methanol poisoning, that is also simple. Flumazenil, that is for benzodiazepine. Protamine sulfate, that is for heparin. Fomepizole, yes. Specifically, fomepizole is useful for your methanol poisoning, right? That is for options. May we had ethanol. Ethanol also you had. But the correct option would be your fomepizole, right? Hana? Fomepizole would be your correct answer, right? Simple. Okay. Chalo. Next. Which is not a autoimmune disease. Not a autoimmune disease. Vitiligo, Alzheimer's, rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus. This was there or not? Anyone? Hmm? This question regarding autoimmune disease, vitiligo, Alzheimer, rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus. Simple question over here. Simple question if I talk about. Simple question over here. Hmm? Obviously, that would be your Alzheimer disease. Alzheimer disease is not a autoimmune disease, right? Hana? Yeah, it was there. Simple, right? Vitiligo, yes. Rheumatoid arthritis, yes. SLE-like symptoms, yes. Alzheimer is your neurodegenerative disorder, so B would be your correct answer, right? Chalo. Okay. Simple question. Simple question. Okay, fine. Now, the graded dose response curve becomes sigmoid when dose is plotted against time, response is plotted against log dose and concentration, dose is plotted against body weight, response is plotted against plasma protein binding. Yes, this one. Do we had there in NIPER examination or not? This question. Graded dose response curve becomes sigmoid when sigmoid S shape, S shape. Plotted against time, response plotted against log dose or concentration. Dose is plotted against the body weight, or response is plotted against the plasma protein binding. Yeah. Anyone? Yes, this was there. Chalo, very nice. So B would be your correct answer over here. Okay, a pregnancy test is based on to the lateral flow immunoassay technology is classified as what? Therapeutic medical device, surgical medical device, in vitro diagnostic IVD medical device, or implantable device. Yeah, do we have this question? A pregnancy test kit based on the lateral flow immunoassay. Immunoassay technology is classified as therapeutic medical device, surgical medical device, in vitro diagnostic medical device, or implantable device. Do we had that? Do we had any kind of question over here? This one. Same options were there or something else? Good evening, Ritax. Do we had same options? Huh, guys? Do we had same options over there? Huh, guys, over here? Yes, no? Correct option is a in vitro diagnostic medical device, obviously, over here, right? C. Okay. Now, thrombin converts which of the following into fibrin during blood coagulation? Okay, that was a HAP question, and you can also say that is your ecology question as well, Hana. So, what was that? What was that? What was that? Prothrombin, fibrinogen, plasminogen, or factor 8? Hmm? Do we had this question? Simple question, right? Whatever question they have asked till now, they are very much simple, right? Over here. Hana? They're very much simple. Yeah. Prothrombin, fibrinogen, plasminogen, or factor 8? What's that? That is simple. Your fibrinogen only, right? Fibrinogen. Not there. This question was not there over there. Is that so, Shivani, Rahul, Ritax? Don't we had this question? Don't we had this question over there? Yeah? Hmm? Not there. Okay, okay, fine, 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 fine. Okay, now this one. Hemoglobin contains how many heme? This is the very much simple tetrapyrrole ring. Hana? Tetrapyrrole ring is present over there. Tetrapyrrole ring, right? Tetrapyrrole ring is there. Is it 2, 4, 6, or 8? This was the simple, right? This was the simple over there. 4, obviously. Hemoglobin contains how many? Heme, that is nothing but 4. Hana? Simple question. That was easy. Very easy. Yeah. Find the body mass index of a person whose body weight is 70 kg and height is 1.70 meter. Okay. Meter. So BMI. BMI, if I talk about, BMI has a formula. Do we had this question? This question, guys, related to BMI. Related to BMI, do we had this question? Weight upon height square, है ना? Height square would be over here. The weight is nothing but how much? 70 and 1.70 ka whole square, है ना? So whatever the answer will become over here, that would be the answer over here. Now that is simple. Weight upon height square. That is your HAP question. है ना? We do HAP practical onto this BMI, body mass index. है ना? That is was simple. That is simple. Okay. 24.2 kg meter square. Okay, fine. Body mass. Which of the following is not surface bounded organelles? Okay, not a surface bounded organelles. Mitochondria, lysosome, ribosome, or nucleus. Surface bound. Out of these four organelles, which one is not surface bound organelle? Yeah, guys. Anyone? Do we had this question? What would be the correct answer over here? What do you think? Do we had this question over here? Yeah. Do we had this question? Ribosomes exactly came. Yeah, that is your ribosome. Simply that is a organelle which is not a surface bounded over here, right? Here you can see in ribosomes the protein synthesizer not binded by membrane. They don't have any kind of the membrane out of it, right? Okay, so this much only you have got, Hana. This much question only you have got from pharmacology plus HAP. I think so. Only 9 question. This much only question, guys, or there were any other question as well? Huh? Was there any question as well, guys? Other question than this, all these 9 question? Hmm? Was there any other question, huh, that you had gone through apart from these all 9 questions over here? Yeah? Anyone? Yes or no? Is there anything else? Then you can also tell. over here in comment section, right? In comment section over here. Otherwise, I can start this one. Pharmaceutical chemistry and allied subjects. Okay. Nifedipine is synthesized. Nifedipine. Nifedipine is synthesized by which of the following name reactions? Mannich reaction, Hans reaction, Wittig reaction, Sandmeyer reaction. Yeah. Anyone over here? Simple. Nifedipine is synthesized. Nifedipine is synthesized by which of the following name reactions? Mannich, Hans, Wittig, or Sandmeyer? That is simple, no? That is nothing but your Hans reaction, right? Hans reaction. Hans synthesis is responsible for your nifedipine. That was the example that Akhilesh sir would have told to you, right? When he should be teaching that one, right? Gilman reagent. Okay, Gilman reagent, very much simple. Gilman reagent. Gilman reagent over here. Lithium aluminium hydride, sorry, Grignard reagent, or lithium dialkyl cuprate, or sodium borohydrate. What's that? So for me, the question paper tough and 50 marks is difficult for me to get. Radhakrishna, see, Radhakrishna, don't worry. This happened to everyone. And remember what I'm saying, just listen to me what I'm saying. Many of the students who has got even good rank in GPAT, they also did around 150 to 160 questions. Just trust me. Just trust me. Only few are there who has attempted questions over 160 or 170. And you are also one of them. You are also one of them. So don't get panic. Okay. This has happened to everybody. I know they have done wrong, right? They didn't follow the exact pattern what they used to follow in earlier examinations, right? So whatever is happened for a reason, guys. That's have this thing in your mind. This has not happened to you only. And this has happened to everyone else. Understood this. Hana? So automatically cutoff will be low, down automatically. Many of the people will be getting low marks. Hana? Not only you, many of the people. And that's how you can say that you have those chances to get selected into the NIPER. Okay? Don't lose hope, bacha. Okay, now this one. Gilman's reagent. Gilman's reagent, guys, simple. Do we had this question over here? Huh? Do we had any question regarding this one? Do we had any kind of question over there? Yeah, related to this, related to this one, Gilman's reagent, lithium dialkyl cuprate R2CuLi. That was your Gilman reagent over here, organocuprate. What is the intermediate formed during an SN1 reaction? Okay, plenty of time. Plenty of time you would have gone through with this SN1 and SN2. What is that? Free radical, carbocation, carbanion, transition complex. Hana? Simple. Hana? SN1 reaction, carbocation, simple. Plenty of times you would have gone through with this, right? Okay, now CuHCl reagent is used in which named reaction? Named reaction. Plenty of times we have gone through this. Friedel-Crafts, no. Gattermann, Cannizzaro, or Perkin. Obviously, that is your Gattermann reaction, right? Gattermann reaction would be simple. No, sir, SN1, they asked rate limiting step. Acha, the rate limiting step they have asked. All right, Shivani. And over here, that would be simple, no? That would be simple. Gattermann reaction, Sandmeyer reaction would be having your powder, copper powder in Sandmeyer reaction. But Gattermann reaction, that is your copper HCl, right? Simple. Gattermann reaction. Yeah. Now, which of the following is most reactive towards electrophilic substitution reaction? Pyrrole, benzene, nitrobenzene, or phenol? Over here. Most reactive towards electrophilic substitution reaction over here. Huh? Most reactive. Pyrrole, 5-membered ring. Benzene, nitrobenzene, or phenol? What's that? Yeah, most reactive towards it. Do we had any kind of question regarding this one? Do we had any question regarding this one, guys? Hmm? Do we had? Sai Krishna says pyrrole. That is your pyrrole, obviously. Because pyrrole may you have those electron density, but that density is, uh, that density is activating, or you can say this is your pyrrole, है ना? This is your pyrrole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, है ना? Yes. So this lone pair is active, is you can say participating into this conjugation over here, है ना? Participating into this conjugation, and that's how you can say this pyrrole will be having most reactivity unstable. Unstable. Benzene would be stable, nitrobenzene would be stable, phenol will be stable, but this pyrrole will be not stable. That is why it is most reactive towards electrophilic substitution reaction. Right? Simple question was there. Pyrrole. है ना? The Schotten-Baumann reaction mainly used for the preparation of what? Schotten-Baumann reaction. Ethers, esters and amides, aldehydes or ketone. Do we had any kind of this question? Huh? Do we had any kind of question regarding this? Huh? Same like this. Ether, esters and amides. Ether, ester and amide. Aldehydes or ketones over there. Hmm? Anything like that? Anything like that do we had over here, guys? Yeah? Any one of you? Yes? No? That is your ester and amides over here, guys. This which is your responsible, Hana, your Schotten and Baumann reaction, right? Okay. Now, Bragg's equation. Plenty of times we had discussed into your analysis, right? Bragg's equation. Bragg's equation. Yeah, what's that? Simple, right? Simple. N lambda is equal to 2d sine theta. Simple most question. Here E is equals to mc square, PV is equal to nRT. That is for Beer's-Lambert's law. That is for ideal gas equation. E is equals to mc square. Theory of relativity. Einstein. Bragg's equation. No, they didn't ask. Didn't ask. They didn't ask us. Guys, Shivani Anand is saying that this question didn't ask. Sai Krishna, Ritax. What about this one? Radhakrishnan? Not there? Okay. Okay. Chalo then. If it is not there then. Okay, Cannizzaro reaction is shown by Cannizzaro, 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 oxidation and reduction at the same time. Oxidation and reduction at the same time. And do we have any kind of alpha hydrogen? Alpha hydrogen? Acetaldehyde, formaldehyde, acetone, or propanol, which is shown by the Cannizzaro reaction. Alpha hydrogen plus not alpha hydrogen. Yeah. Oxidation and reduction. Same time, formaldehyde over here, right? Formaldehyde would be the correct one. Simple. Here you can see formaldehyde lacks an alpha hydrogen and therefore has no alpha hydrogen, make it readily undergo to the Cannizzaro reaction. Okay, Cannizzaro, you have no alpha hydrogen atom. That is why. That is why over here. Which step is the fastest in a free radical chain reaction? Okay, free radical chain reaction, free radical chain, initiation, initiation, propagation, propagation, or termination. That only three steps we have, no? That only three steps we have, no? Initiation, propagation, termination. These three. Hana? So out of these three, which step is fastest? Which steps is fastest? Initiation, propagation, or termination? What's that? What do you think? Sir, when we can expect the result? After 10 days. I think today is your 13. and around 22 or 23 you can say you'd be having your result in your hand. Okay, 22 and 23. All right, chalo. Propagation, obviously initiation do takes time, termination do takes time, but propagation, simple. Propagation is nothing but you just have to continue, right? Free radical ion of chloride, free radical ion of chloride, that will be forming Cl2. Simple, no? Chloride, initiate propagation will always be simple, right? And fastest, Hana? Okay. Now, which of the following is an intensive property? Intensive property, independent of the mass, independent of the amount. Do we had any kind of question over here? Do we had any kind of question over here, guys? Mass, volume, temperature, or number of moles? Do we had in your examination? Have you seen any kind of question? Something like this? Yeah? Mass, volume, temperature, or number of moles? What's that? What do you think? Yes, sir, but option is different. Options are different. What was the options, guys? What were the options? Enthalpy was there. Okay. Enthalpy was there. So enthalpy is also, you can say, not an intensive one. Yeah, over here, that is your temperature. Intensive property they have asked, no? So temperature would be your correct answer. Simple over here. Okay, aniline reacts with bromine water to give what? Aniline. Aniline, NH2 benzene, right? Hana, over here. And plus reacting with bromine. Bromine is your meta-directing. Hana? Meta-directing group. Meta-directing group. The bromobenzene? No. 2-bromoaniline, 2,4,6 tribromoaniline or nitrobenzene. What would be the correct answer? What would be the correct answer? Yeah. Meta-directing group. That is nothing but 2,4,6 tribromoaniline, right? That is your major product. Hana? How? Obviously, you can say other one can also, that would be your minor, but this 2,4,6 tribromoaniline would be your major one, right? Okay. Silver nitrate is commonly used in the titration of which one? Okay, silver nitrate. Silver nitrate. Do we had this question? Yeah, guys. Silver nitrate commonly used in the titration of acid-base titration, redox titration, precipitation titration, or complexometric titration. Do we had this question? Yeah. Do we had this question, guys, over here? Precipitation, obviously, precipitation reaction also known to be as your argentometric reaction. And argentometric, argentum Ag is your silver. Simple, that was your simple question. Precipitation titration, okay. The characteristic IR absorption range of the carbonyl group. Carbonyl group. NaCl is in question. Which NaCl, guys? Pratax? Over here. The characteristic IR absorption range of the carbonyl group is what, guys? 1000 to 1300, 15 to 1600, 1650 to 1750, or 3000 to 3500 centimeter. What's that? Inverse. Carbonyl, you know that? That is nothing but your 1650, 1750, obviously, right? See, identify the structure shown below. Which structure? Which structure? Where is the structure? No structure is there. Ciprofloxacin. Okay. Ciprofloxacin. Which of the following is a reference electrode? Okay. Reference electrode over here, guys. Reference electrode. Platinum electrode. Glass electrode. This one, saturated calomel electrode or antimony electrode. Do we had any question regarding this? Do we had any kind of question related to this one, guys? Over there. What would be the correct answer? Simple. Simple question they have asked, right? Simple question. What's that? What's that? That is nothing but saturated calomel electrode, SCE, right? Okay. The limit test for chloride is based on the formation of which precipitate? Very simple question. Very simple question. Limit test of chloride. Barium sulfate, silver chloride, lead sulfate, or mercury chloride. Simple, no? Hana? Guys, please do respond over here. Please do respond over here. Hana? Obviously, that would be your silver chloride, right? Okay. Hydrobromination reaction involves in the addition of. Hydrobromination reaction involves the addition of what? Hydrobrom. अरे नहीं बच्चा, साईं कृष्णा. NaCl, when going to act with silver nitrate, AgNO3, it will be doing AgCl, है ना? AgCl it will be producing, and that is what responsible for the white precipitate, है ना? Turbidity, है ना? Over here, if I talk about hydrobromination, guys, hydrobromination reaction involves which thing? HCl across a double bond, HBr across a double bond, Br2 across a double bond, or H2 across a double bond. Yeah, simple. That is your HBr across double bond, right? Okay, now antifreeze solution lowers the freezing point of water due to which phenomena? Okay, antifreeze solution, guys. Antifreeze solution? Antifreeze solution lowers the freezing point water due to which phenomena? Yeah, that would be your colligative property, that is your freezing point depression. Simple, है ना? Simple question. Guys, you are not replying on the time. You're not replying, guys. Do let me know. Do let me know. They asked four properties, sir. Okay. They asked four properties. All right. Fine. Now, EZ nomenclature is used to describe which type of isomerism? EZ, conformational isomerism, configurational isomerism, geometrical isomerism, or optical isomerism? Yeah. Anyone? EZ nomenclature is used to describe which type of isomerism? Conformational, configurational, geometrical, or optical? Simple, right? Simple question. That is nothing but your geometrical isomerism, right? Geometrical isomerism. State the name reaction. State the name reaction involved in the conversion of cyclohexanone to methylene cyclohexane. Okay, Manish reaction, Hans reaction, Wittig reaction, or Claisen condensation. Yeah. Do we had this question? Do we had this question, guys, over here? Cyclohexanone to methylene cyclohexane. Yeah. Cyclohexanone to methylene cyclohexane. Do we had Wittig reaction, right? Okay. The characteristic IR absorption range of O hydroxy group is. Okay. This one also they do ask. Carbonyl group and now this hydroxy group. Right? Hydroxy group they also ask, guys. Do they have asked hydroxyl group also? Yeah. Anyone? That is your 3200 to 3600 centimeter inverse, right? Simple. Arrhenius theory formula, dipole moment, allele. Yeah. Okay, guys, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This kind of question, 30 kind of questions we have discussed over here. Arrhenius theory formula, dipole moment zero, Allen plane of symmetry. Hmm? Okay, guys, from now onwards, Indu sir will take on the live session. Okay, so don't worry, whatever has happened, guys. Okay, don't worry, whatever is happened, that is happened for everyone. At the end, I just want to say, you guys, you have done a lot. Hana, Hana, you have done a lot, right? And you will definitely get some good result after that. Okay, let me confirm first over here. Okay. Okay, so I was just saying that, see, whatever has happened, no, that has happened to everyone, right? That has happened to everyone, and all I can say, the due course of hard work that you have done, from last 1 year, whether if I talk about any GPAT examination or 2 months after that, you had this NIPER examination, and you have done each and everything, you know, you have done each and everything for this one, right? You have done a lot, and I don't think this kind of hard work will not pay off in any case, of yours. So I don't think so that's going to be happen. Definitely in somewhere, maybe not here, but somewhere else, you will see that whatever knowledge you have acquired, no, whatever knowledge you have acquired from this course of time of 1 years, in which you have studied for GPAT and which you have studied for this sniper examination, definitely I can say somewhere in your life you will see and you will realize that whatever the amount of knowledge I have got during this period of time, है now it is benefiting me, right? Now it is benefiting me, and that's all what I can say over here, guys, because I know many of the students would be very much disappointed, very much would be, stressed ki what happened to us, right? Why it is happening only to us, है ना? Why it is happened only to us? So let me inform you one thing, guys. Let me inform you one thing, guys, that when I had given my NIPER, okay, that's a personal thing, guys, by the way, है ना? When I had given my NIPER, what happened, we had two NIPERs. We had two NIPERs at that time, right? First NIPER got cancelled, and we had second NIPER after that in the due course, and we were very much frustrated to that, we were very much frustrated to that. We were studying from a last 1 year, and now all of a sudden they have cancelled the examination, है ना, and NIPER Guwahati was the conducting body at that time, है ना. So just after we came out of the center, examination center, we got to know that NIPER JEE 2023 is now cancelled. We didn't idea is this uh, going to be conduct again or not, but they have released one thing, that yes, we're going to release a new date in a short period of time, है ना. So that would be very much frustrating, but still we got a second chance and we delivered the best thing, and many of the students went to NIPER. I also went to NIPER, right? I also went to NIPER, and yeah, at the end, I can say whatever happened happened for a reason, and everything is written, guys. है ना? You do change your destiny. That's true, but not every time. है ना? Whatever is written, that will definitely going to takes place. है ना? Just I can say, don't lose your hope. है ना? Don't lose your hope for that you won't be able to do anything in your life. Nothing like that. There are still a lot of things yet to go, and once you will reach at that position, no, then you will think of this sniper. Arey, this sniper, do I were worried about this kind of examination? Huh? Is that so? Is that so? Yeah. This you will think. This you will think after some years. Huh? Was I worrying about that examination? Right? This is the way that you will be saying over there. Okay. So just saying, guys, go for it. Hana. Just let it be. Try to digest what happened. And yeah, I think after 10 days or maybe 7, 8 days only, after that, you will be having your results. And I'm hoping for the best, guys, that you will get your good rank, because this has happened to everyone. I am saying again and again, this has happened to everyone, right? And simply, the marks would be very much less, है ना, of everyone, obviously. And the last time I think 82 was the topper's marks, है ना. Topper's marks was around 82 or 83 something, but this time it would be definitely going to be decreased, and the cutoff also, you can say, very much going to be decreased down, है ना. And definitely you have a chance. Just make sure this happened to everyone, you still have a chance, right? You still have a chance over there. Sir. Okay, okay, sir. Okay, thank you. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you so much. Now, Prateek sir will be taking on you guys. Prateek sir will be taking you on, guys, over here from the next segment, and wishing you all the very best for your results. And don't take examination. Right? Now, Prateek sir will be taking on you guys. Prateek sir will be taking you on, guys, over here from the next segment, and wishing you all the very best for your results. And don't take tension. Whatever is happened, happened for a reason. And just digest this, and now just relax for some days. Okay? That's it, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.
Hello, 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 hello. Hope you guys are doing well. Am I audible or visible to you guys? Okay, let me give a minute. Am I audible or visible to you guys? Okay, first just tell me how was your exam gone? How was your exam gone? First tell me. Hello, 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 hello. Hope you guys are. So how was it? I think I think it is gone well. Okay. So in this given class, we are mainly discussing about the different questions that are going to be the memory based questions. Okay. From your NIPER JEE 2026 today's exam, we can say. So I am taking here the two parts. The one is the other subjects or the allied subjects, we can say, and then we will take or we'll go through the important or the major subject from the NIPER point of view. That is going to be what? That is going to be the pharmaceutics. Okay. Yeah. So let me know Am I audible to you guys before starting our discussion? Okay. So yes, the first question of our discussion or the memory based question is going to be which of the following antibody can crosses the placenta. So they are mainly asking about the which of the following will mainly cross the blood placental barrier or the placenta. Okay, so there are different kind of barrier. The most important barriers are two. The one is blood placental barrier and another is the blood brain barrier. Okay, so IgA, IgG, IgM or IgE. So yes, for that particular question, the answer is going to be what? Is going to be IgG type. Okay, if we arrange these antibodies on the basis of their concentration in our blood or in our serum. Okay, so the concentration, if we arrange the antibodies in concentration order. Okay, so the highest concentration is of G, then of M, then of A, then of M, then of D, and least concentration is of E. Okay, so yes, we can also say that the G is an antibody that is present in the highest amount in our blood. Okay, and can able to cross the placenta and having a very small structure. It is existing as a single unit. That's why it will able to cross that placental barrier. Okay, so yes, we can say the IgG type of antibody can go through this particular placental barrier, and the largest in size is the IgM type. Okay, is going to be the largest. Yes, so C is going to be the answer for that particular question. Yes, the percentage serum concentration of this IgG is going to be 80%. Is present in both serum and the lymph. Is exist as a single or a monomeric unit that can crosses the placenta easily. Okay, will mainly responsible for the second immune responses. So these are all the other things. Okay, so we can remember by GAMDE, GAMD, by the concentration, decreasing order of the concentration of these antibodies. Okay, so moving towards our next question, they are asking about in the cDNA, the term or the letter C is mainly stand for conjugate, chimeric, complementary, or conserved. Yes, so for that particular question, you have to just answer that the cDNA, from where the cDNA is mainly derived. The cDNA is mainly derived from the mRNA. Okay, mRNA sequence, and the process of conversion of that or formation of that cDNA from the mRNA is known to be as the reverse transcription. Reverse transcription. Okay, so the cDNA is mainly formed by the code that is present in the mRNA. Okay, so this cDNA is going to be complementary to that particular mRNA. Okay, from which the cDNA is being produced. So yes, the C is mainly stand for complementary here. So C is going to be the answer for that particular question. Okay, yeah. So it's mainly the process by which the cDNA will be forming from that of the mRNA template is going to be the reverse transcription process. Okay, and the C terms mainly stand for the complementary because it will mainly complement the sequence or having the exact sequence that will complement with the mRNA. Moving towards our next question, the covaccine. Okay, covaccine that is being used for SARS-CoV two type of what? COVID-19 virus. There are different kind of COVID-19 virus that has been arose all over the world in different period of time or will having a different latent or the chances or the action of spreadability. So co-vaccine is being developed by which of the following company? Yes, the Serum Institute of India, the Bharat Biotech, the Zydus, or the Biological E. So Biological E is nothing. The Zydus is the kind of private company. Okay, Zydus is a private company. Okay, yeah. The Serum Institute of India or the Bharat Biotech. Yeah, the Bharat Biotech is going to be the correct answer for that particular question. The co-vaccine is being mainly that is effective against the SARS-CoV-2 is mainly formulated or manufactured by the Bharat Biotech Limited. Okay, so B is going to be the correct option. Okay, so the co-vaccine is mainly the inactivated kind of COVID-19 vaccine that is being developed by the Bharat Biotech in collaboration with Indian Council of Medical Research ICMR. Okay, in combination with ICMR and Bharat Biotech will mainly formulated that particular inactivated co-vaccine. Okay, against the SARS-CoV-2. Okay, so yes, B is going to be the correct answer. Which of the following bacteria is commonly associated with the fecal material? Fecal material. Yes, we all know what is the fecal material. Option A is the Bacillus subtilis. Option B, E. coli. Option C is Micrococcus luteus, and option D is Staphylococcus aureus. Okay, so fecal material. So that bacterium, growth of that bacterium can also be act as an indicator of sterility, sterility or sterile condition. Yeah. Okay, if this bacteria is not present in a particular inanimate thing like the in water, okay, or any other at any other place, then the particular place is supposed to be free from that of the contaminants. Okay, so what virus is going to be, what bacteria, sorry, what bacteria is going to be, this is going to be the most prominent and the most important bacteria we have discussed multiple times. Is the E. coli is the most favorite bacteria, okay, of all the bacteriologists. Yes, the E. coli is going to be the answer for that particular question. B is going to be the correct answer. The E. coli is mainly the normal inhabitant for the intestinal of the human and or the warm blooded animals. Okay, they will mainly either present in the water, food and the environment sample, and can be acting as an indicator organism for the sanitary condition or the sanitized condition. Okay, the E. coli can also acting as the sanitary condition or the quality indicator. Okay, coming towards our next question, the vector for the Japanese encephalitis is Anopheles, Aedes, Culex and sandfly. For that particular question, the Japanese Anopheles is mainly the vector of it is what? Yeah, Culex is going to be the vector of it. Okay, but the habitat where the Culex or the given thing will be, you know, the given virus that is being developed is going to be sometime pigs and other animals also. Okay, so Culex mosquito is going to be the vector of that Japanese encephalitis. Okay, yeah, Culex mosquito. The pigs are mainly the amplifying host, and the water birds that will mainly lives in the reservoirs are the reservoir host. Either the water birds or either the pig are acting as a host for that particular Culex mosquito that is being responsible for the spreading of that particular Japanese encephalitis, and is a kind of virus that is belonging to the family flavivirus. Okay, the eukaryotic cell, the larger subunit of ribosome is 30S, 40S, 60S and 50S. Yes. So S is mainly stand for the Swedberg unit. Swedberg unit. That will mainly tells what? The how much a given unit is large or how much a given unit is mainly the small. Okay. So the Swedberg is mainly indicating the sedimentation. The larger or the smaller unit is being indicated by the sedimentation. Okay, by this Swedberg unit. So yes, what is the largest out of them? So we can say the 60S is going to be the largest for them, 60S. So all these units are being made up of the smaller units. Okay, so yes, so we can say like 30S will having the 16S, the 40S will having the 18S. Okay, and the other unit as well. So the 60S will mainly made up of 80S rRNA. Okay, 5.8S rRNA and the C 5R RNA, the 3 unit it will make made up of. The 40S subunit is mainly made up of 18S and the 30S unit is mainly made up of 16S. Okay, so yes, so this is mainly the larger unit, the 60S, and this is the 40S unit that will mainly forms the 80S eukaryotic ribosome. Coming towards our next question, the adaptation occur in which phase of the bacterial growth? There are different phases of the bacterial growth. The first phase is mainly known as the lag phase, the initial phase, then comes the log phase or the exponential growth phase, then comes the stationary phase, and the fourth phase is going to be the stationary depth phase or the decline phase. Okay, the decline phase we can say. So yes, the adaptation to the given set of new conditions, the given bacteria is being adapting towards the new condition is mainly done in the initial phase of our bacterial growth. That is going to be what? That is going to be what? The lag phase. Yes. So in the lag phase or the initial phase or the just starting phase, when the bacteria is being introduced into the given culture media, into the given bacterial growth media, then it will be adapting, and that particular initial phase that is being known as by the name of lag phase. So A is going to be the correct answer. Yes. The lag phase is also known to be as the adaptation phase. The log phase is by the exponential phase, the stationary phase, and decline or death phase. Okay. So yes, coming towards our next question. Which one of the following is the major difference between the ELISA and PCR? The ELISA amplifies the DNA. The PCR detect the antibodies. The ELISA detect the antigen antibody reaction, and PCR will mainly amplify the nucleic acid. The ELISA detect the RNA, and PCR will mainly detect the protein. This is not going to be correct. Both ELISA and PCR can detect the antibodies. No, this is also not be correct. ELISA amplify. No, amplification is not done by the ELISA. So this option is also wrong. So what option is correct here? The ELISA is mainly used for the detection or will mainly involve the antigen antibody reaction, and the PCR that is being identified or that is being discovered by the carry molecule is mainly responsible for the amplification of the nucleic acid. So yes, B is going to be the correct option. Okay, so this is mainly the definition that is being given. Enzyme link immunosorbent assay that can be of different type. The PCR will mainly involve the DNA sequence will be amplified. Okay, amplified to the multiple times. Yeah. Coming to our next question, the golden rice will mainly contain vitamin C, vitamin C, beta carotene, enzymes, or vitamin D. Yes, what they actually contains. What the golden rice is a kind of hybrid rice. Okay, then what they mainly contain. So yes, the answer for that particular question is mainly going to be the, yes, the mother says to his child that beta, you have to eat that golden rice because they are rich in beta carotene. Okay, you can remember by this trick. Okay, so beta carotene, golden rice are going to be the rich source for that particular beta carotene. Yes, the golden rice, the beta carotene biosynthetic pathway, that is the proactive vitamin A, or is being used. That's why the is being used in the vitamin A deficiency. These golden rice are being used. Okay, which diagnostic technique is being used is radioactive substance, the PET, the ultrasonography, the CT scan. The MRI will not involve. Okay, because they will mainly include the magnetic field that is indicated by the M name. The ultrasonography will mainly contain the ultrasonic radiation. The CT scan is also not there. So these all are incorrect. The option correct, that is going to be the PET scan that involves the radioactive substance for the diagnostic purposes. Okay, so the full form of this PET is the positron emission topography. Yeah, tomography, not tomography. Okay, that will mainly involves the imaging technique, involves the radioactive traces. Okay, and will mainly contain the fluorine 18. That is kind of what? That is a kind of what? That is a kind of that is a kind of what? That is a kind of radioactive compound. Okay, yeah. Coming to our next question, match the following. Okay, the first list is the photofructokinase, the glycolysis, the ATP, the fructose 6 phosphate. So they are mainly discussing about. Okay, so what is being done by the ATP? We have to match the list 1 with the data of the list 2 in order to select the question. Okay, so what of the following will be going to correct? Okay, yeah. So yes, for the D, we can come across with the option 1 because the fructose 6 phosphate is being, okay, yeah, phosphofructokinase, that being also known as PFK, that is being related with the fructose 6 phosphate to fructose 1,6 PFK, fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, that is mainly a phosphorylation reaction. Okay, then we come to the glycolysis. So the glycolysis, where the ATP synthesis is being take place. ATP synthesis is being takes place in the glycolysis. Okay, so yes, the PFK, the photofructokinase will mainly regulate that particular glycolysis. Okay, yeah. So what? The ATP is a kind of energy currency. We can say energy currency. Energy currency that will can also be act as an proton donor because it will get converted to ATP to ADP. Okay, ADP. So there is a loss of one phosphate, so phosphate donor it is. The fructose 6 phosphate. The fructose 6 phosphate, as initially mentioned, is a substrate will having the substrate of PFK. The PFK will mainly utilizes the photo for fructose 6 phosphate as its substrate. So A is going to be the correct option. Okay. So yes, the reaction that or the pathway that will mainly following the particular reaction is the fructose 6 phosphate converted to the fructose 1,6 bisphosphate by the phosphofructokinase and synthesis of 1-ATP involving the magnesium into it. Okay, magnesium ion is also involved. Yes, coming to our next question. The cyanide inhibit the cellular respiration by binding to which of the following complex of ETC, electron transport chain, the complex 1, the complex 2, the complex 3 and the complex 4. You have to just think about how is your exam gone, not to think about certain things like how the cutoff, how much the cutoff is going to be. Okay, so you have to just keep your mind relaxed. Okay, you have done a lot of hard work, and each and every hour or each and every night that you have given to your exam preparation, okay, will be going to be worth at the time of that particular exam date or the result declaration. Okay, I am saying that because I am the person who was preparing for that same exam around 3 to 4 years back. Okay, and all the efforts that I was made at that time of my preparation are going to be worth at the time of my result. Okay, yeah. So don't think too much, just enjoy. Just enjoy. If you have 1 or 2 exam more, I think all the exam has been done. So just enjoy the time till you get your results. Okay, just relax, just chill, spend some time with your family. Everything will be going to in your favor if you worked hard for that particular exam. I assure you. Okay, so yes, the answer for that particular question is going to be the complex 4, or the last complex that is being inhibited by the, that is also being known by the name of cytochrome C oxidase, that is being inhibited by the cyanide poisoning. Okay, so yes, the cyanide poisoning will mainly binds to the complex 4 of cytochrome A3 of the complex 4. This is mainly the A3 of the complex 4 that will mainly cause the conversion of oxygen to that of the water. Okay, yes. Which amino acid is responsible for the formation of disulfide bonds? Disulfide bonds, that is that bond in the protein: methionine, cysteine, serine, and tyrosine. Okay, yeah. So what? The sulfide disulfide bond formation, or the amino acid responsible for the formation of disulfide bond, is going to be what? Cysteine. Okay, cysteine is mainly the protein that will, or the amino acid, sorry, that will be responsible for the formation of that protein. Okay, the lysine and the cysteine. So mainly the cysteine is the disulfide bond is present in the cysteine amino acid. Yes, we can say. If the adenine concentration is 20%, if the adenine concentration is 20% of the bases in a double-stranded DNA molecule, what is the percentage of cytosine? We can say like AT and GC, they will bind to each other. AT bind by double bond or GC will bind by triple bond with each other. Yes. So yes, they are mainly saying if the adenine concentration is 20%, adenine concentration is 20%, then what will be the percentage of cytosine that is going to be involved? So yes, that's by the Chargaff rule, we can say like A, T, G and C. The adenine is 20%, then what the thymine is also going to be 20%, and in combination A and T will mainly form the 40% of part. The remaining part, that is going to be what? The 100%, out of which the 40% is already be occupied or being present as adenine and thymine. So remaining is 60% part that is remaining. So yes, the 60% part that is being remaining is being distributed in between the guanine and cytosine. Okay, if guanine has to be bind with that of the cytosine, so both of these guanine and cytosine should be present in equal amount because they have to be bind with each other. Okay, so they should be in the equal amount. So yes, the 60% part that is being remaining is equally distributed in the two half portion. That is going to be 30% of guanine it will form and 30% of cytosine it will form. So yes, 30% is going to be the correct answer. Okay, coming towards our next question. The lysases is an enzyme that will mainly catalyze the addition of water to break bond. Okay, the transfer of functional group between the molecules, the removal of group to form the double bond and addition of group to the double bond, joining of the two molecules using the ATP. So yes, lysase or lysase. Okay, ligase or lysase are the two different enzymes. The ligase will mainly responsible for the attachment or for the addition, The lysase will mainly responsible for the broken down or the removal of the group. Okay, so yes, the removal of the broken down is only being discussed in the option C and will form the double bond or addition of the group to the double bond. So if we have to just follow the more correct statement, that is mainly the removal that is being done by the lysase, the broken down or the breaking of bond that will in turn causes the removal of that particular functional group. Okay, so this is mainly the explanation that is being given in our book of biochemistry, biotechnology. Which of the following is the biologically active form of vitamin E, anti-aging hormone, retinol, tocopherol, calciferol, and phylloquinone? Which of the following is going to be correct? So each and every one of you know that particular vitamin E is also known by the name of what? Yes, answer these questions. By the name of tocopherol. Okay, that will mainly restrict the that will mainly restrict what? That will mainly restrict the aging process. It can also be used as an anti-aging, or in some cases, it will be also used as an anti-acne agent that is being applied over the skin. Okay, so yes, is a kind of ADEK. The vitamin A, D, E, and K are mainly what? The fat soluble vitamins. That is also that of which the alpha tocopherol is most biologically active form that is being present to the human. The ninhydrin test. The ninhydrin test is mainly done for which color with the most amino acid. Okay, ninhydrin. The blue, the purple or the violet color, the green color or the yellow color. Yes, the which color is being given by the ninhydrin test? Yes, yes, the explanation as we know, the purple color, and that ninhydrin test is mainly done for the amino acids and will mainly give the purple to that of the violet color. Yes, the ninhydrin test that is being using the reagent 2,2-dihydroxyindane 1,3-dione derivative will mainly give the rumen's purple color with the alpha amino acid that will mainly forms the protein in turn. Okay, the D-glycopyranose, the D-glycopyranose is a kind of 5-membered ring sugar, 6-membered, 7-member, or a open chain. They will mainly the D that is indicating the dextro with the D dextro glucopyranose will mainly contain how much sugars in their ring or how much rings, how much members, how much carbons in the ring given ring. Okay, so yes, the structure of glucopyranose. The glucopyranose is a kind of cyclic form of the glucose containing 6-membered ring that will mainly having the 5-membered carbon ring with one oxygen atom. Okay, with one oxygen atom, they will mainly forming a 6-membered ring. This is the oxygen atom, and this is the ring that they are forming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons and one oxygen element. So B is going to be the correct option. Yes. So now we are going to discuss about one of the important topic and the major subject of your preparation of your NIPER JEE exam, that is going to be the pharmaceutics. Okay, so yes, the first question of our pharmaceutical discussion is going to be the beta cyclodextrin contain how many units? For what purpose the cyclodextrin is being used? It is being used for the purpose of complexation that can also be responsible for the solubilization. The complexation can cause what? Solubilization. Okay, so it will having 3 types of unit we have discussed: alpha, beta, and gamma. The alpha unit will mainly contain how many? How many units? The alpha will mainly contain 6, beta contains 7, and gamma contain 8. So they are mainly asking about the beta subunit that will mainly contain the 7-glycopyranose unit. So yes, B is going to be the correct option. The same question is being discussed by our respected Dr. Piyush Jaiswal sir. The 1667 number question, that is the beta cyclodextrin will mainly contain how many glucopyranose unit? Okay, in our NIPER Bahubali series. So yes, this question is directly from our class section or our classroom discussion. So the explanation that was given by the sir that time is the alpha cyclodextrin will mainly contain 6 subunits, the beta contains 7, and the gamma will mainly contain the 8 subunits. So they are mainly asking about the beta type of. That was the same question that was discussed by the sir at that time. Okay, so yes, they will mainly contain the 7 alpha D glucopyranose unit. Okay, so yes, the again question, the capsule size that is being going to be the 000. Yes, we can say the largest capacity capsular size, or is going to be the 000. So we have to just take the largest volume out of it: 1.737, 0.95, 0.75, and 0.55. So yes, what is going to be the answer? Answer fast. The largest volume, that is going to be 1.37, is the volume, that is occupied, that is being given by that particular 000 capsular size volume. Yes, the 000. We have to just reduce, starting from 950, we have to first reduce 300, then we have to reduce 200, then we have to reduce 150. After 150, we have to just reduce 50, 50, 50 and 50. Okay, and we have to just write the number 00, 000, 000, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so yes, this question is also from our classroom, that was discussed by the sir your in your NIPER Bahubali series part 3. So this question is also straight away from our classroom. Okay, so yes, the capsule filling will be depend upon the particle size or the flow property, the color of the powder, the taste of the powder, the odor of the powder. So the color, the taste or the odor, all three are going to be what? All three are going to be the organoleptic properties. Okay, organoleptic properties. So the organoleptic properties are not being related to the capsule filling. The mostly the properties that is being related to the capsule filling is either the micromeretic properties, okay, either the flowability properties, yes, the particle size, the particle shape, okay, that will mainly determine the flow property of that powder, or in turn the capsule filling. Okay, the uniform size or the good flowability powder will be filled into the capsule very easily with lesser weight variation, with the lesser weight variation. But if the particle size is large, having the larger voids and the flow property is bad, then the weight variation is going to be what? Very large. So option A is going to be the correct for that particular question. Yes. The particle size, the smaller the particle size, more closely the particle are packed, or lesser space they will occupy. The larger the particle space, the more void volume will be there. That will mainly reduce the uniformity and will mainly increase the weight variation. Okay. The flow property, yes, the flow property should be good. That will lead to the lesser weight variation, the fast production and the uniform filling of the capsules. The antioxidant that is being used for the oily preparation, or I can say that can also be known by the name of blocking agent, that will mainly block the chain reaction, that are going to be the BHA, BHT and propyl gallate, So yes, this question is also straight away from our classroom. Yes, the antioxidant that is being used for the oil purpose, and if they are asking about the water purpose, we have to just remember the sodium, that the antioxidant that will contain sodium in their name will mainly used for the oil, for the water. Okay, but they are asking about the oil, so BHA and BHT are going to be the answer. Yes, for the ecosystem, the sodium, the sulfated are of, okay, the water soluble vitamin, that is the vitamin C. Ascorbic acid is also there, isoascorbic acid. Okay, the sulfur, that is again come with the thioglycerol, the thioglycol, the cysteine hydrochloride and acetylcysteine. Okay, the cysteine compound, the sodium compound, the thio compounds and the ascorbic acid are the water soluble system, but the oil soluble system are going to be BHA, BHT, tocopherol, that is the vitamin E, that is itself the water insoluble, the ascorbyl palmitate are some of the examples that is belonging to the antioxidant class. Okay, the chelating agent is known to be as the IDTA. Okay, yeah. Coming to our next question, which of the following is the kind of intrinsic property? Intrinsic property, the property that is known to be as the intrinsic property are those property that will not change if we changes the mass. Okay, the properties that will not change, that will not change with mass change, with mass change or weight change. Okay, the entropy it is, the temperature it is, the volume or the mass. Yes, the mass is going to be changed if we increase the mass or the weight. So it is not, the volume is also going to be increased, the temperature is also going to be increased, because if we have to heat 1 ml of water, if we have to heat 1000 ml of water, the heat that is being required in that particular case will be different, but the entropy that will be an indicated of or indicative of internal disorderness of a system is going to be what? The intrinsic property that is not being affected by the weight or mass of that particular system. So A is going to be the correct answer. Yes, the entropy is going to be the intrinsic or intensive property. Okay, that will independent. If we are talking about the specific entropy, that means They will mainly restrict or mainly define the size of that particular system on which we are mainly studying the thermodynamic effect. The temperature is also intensive, but we have to answer the most appropriate question. So we are going for the entropy. The volume is extensive, the mass is also extensive. Okay, coming to our next question, the pharmaceutical suspension carry which are the following rheological property: rheopaxy, dilatant, the plastic, and the anti-thixotropy. Anti-thixotropy means soul gel soul transformation. Rheopaxy is reverse of it. Okay, the most of the pharmaceutical suspension will mainly follows the dilatant kind of flow. Okay, the pharmaceutical suspension will mainly give the dilatant kind of flow or the shear thickening flow. Okay, that is being shown by that particular pharmaceutical suspension. Okay, so yes, the rheopaxy is mainly the viscosity increases with the time when we are applying the constant shear. Okay, the anti-thixotropy is reverse of thixotropy, and the plastic material are those that will start flowing after a certain point, after a defined force having that kind of graph of them. So they will mainly start, if they start from that point, that is known to be as the yield point of them. This yield point is mainly an indicative that it is the force that should be applied to a given system in order to break all the bonds or in order to induce the flow of that particular thing or the suspension. Okay, coming towards our next question, the Bancroft rule. They are asking about the oil soluble suspension will mainly form. So Bancroft rule is mainly associated with what kind of emulsifying agent is being used in order to form which kind of emulsion. So yes, the Bancroft rule says if we want to formulate the water in oil type of emulsion, the water is going to be the larger part or the major part here. Yes. So yes, we have to use the surfactant that should having its nature water soluble. But if one wants to form water in oil type of emulsion, then we have to use the surfactant that is more soluble in oil. That is more soluble in oil. Okay, so Bancroft rule, all oil soluble surfactant will mainly form. Oil soluble surfactant will mainly form the emulsion that will having the oil as its major part. That is going to be the water in oil. Yes, the answer for that particular question is going to be B. Yes. Okay, so oil soluble surfactant will mainly form water in oil because oil is the major portion of it, and the water soluble will mainly form are being used to formulate the emulsion that is of what oil in water type. Yes, the water is acting as a major source here or the major component. Which of the following test is used in the detection of emulsion? The dye test. There are two kind of emulsion, either oil in water or water in oil type of emulsion. Yes, the dye test, yes, it is being used. The dilution test, yes, it is being used. We have to add just water or the solvent to it. If the inversion of emulsion is not taking place, then we can say by the addition of water, the inversion of the emulsion is not taking place. We can say that it is a kind of oil in water type of emulsion, or it will having what the water as its major phase. Yes, if the conductivity is being done, it means the water is present as a larger phase or the emulsion is of water in oil type. Yes, the dilution, no phase conversion there, water in oil type. Yes, the oil test is being done for the emulsion detection. Okay, the feel on the skin, the dye solubility test will mainly utilize the methylene blue, amaranth dye, dilution, conductivity, direction of the creaming. The direction of the creaming will be upward. Upward for what? Upward for oil in water type of emulsion, but downward for water in oil type of emulsion. Okay, the cobalt chloride filter paper test will also be there. Coming to our next question, the oil injection route of administration will follow. Okay, we can answer that question by the depot formation is also there in that route. Depot formation or the slow release of the medication, and the angle of that route is going to be 90 degrees Celsius. Yes, we are discussing about what? We are mainly discussing about the IM route. Yes, the IM route, the oily injection can be given by that particular IM route. But the embolism, due to the chances of embolism, we can't be able to give the oil injection with the IV route, but we have to give the oil injection with IM intramuscular route at an angle of 90 degree. Yes, so the oil embolism will be there in IV route, so we can't give by that purpose. But IVM route is mainly the main route for the oil based injection to injected. Okay, the Wurster's apparatus, yes, the Wurster's process that is being used for what? That is being used for the micro encapsulation. Micro encapsulation in order to form the microencapsules. The Wurster's apparatus is being used, okay, and the Wurster's apparatus is being used mainly for the solids to that covered with that particular polymer and will utilizes the size will utilize the size of 35 to 5000 micrometer. Yes, the Wursters will mainly fly for 35 minutes the and it have been charged 5000 rupees. Pan coating, air suspension, compression or dip coating. The air suspension is the Wurster's type of coating that will utilizes or form the size of 35 to 5000 micrometer and is a kind of encapsulation technique for the solid powders. Okay. So yes, Wurster's process is going to be the correct answer of it. Yes, the air suspension method, that is the Wurster's, and the pan coating will mainly form the particle of 600 to 5000. The multi-orifice centrifugal process will mainly form 1 to 5000. The conservation phase separation will mainly form 2 to 5000. The solvent evaporation will mainly form 5 to 5000 and the spray drying will mainly form the 600. Okay, yeah. Coming to the next question, the plastic flow shown by Newtonian, pseudoplastic, Bingham bodies, the dilatant flow. Yeah, a certain yield point. Yield point, we know what is yield point. The point after which the given fluid is starts to flow is known to be as the yield point, or the yield point can be shown as a point after which the breakage of bond in between the molecule is being taken place, and after the breakage of those particular bonds the given liquid will start flowing. Okay, so that is known to be as the yield point. The plastic body are the only bodies that will having the yield point and will start flowing after the application of certain amount of forces to it. Okay, and they are also being known by the name of Bingham bodies. Okay, so yes, C is going to be the correct answer. Okay, the plastic flow do not passes through the origin that will having a yield point, we have discussed already, and is mainly shown by the flocculated type of suspension. Yes, flocculated type of suspension. Okay, that is a kind of pharmaceutically ideal suspension. The pseudoplastic is also a kind of flow that is mainly shown by the natural synthetic gum. Should not have the yield point. A dilated will also not have the yield point. Okay, yeah. So these are the equation. The Bingham bodies, that is plastic flow that are showing, and the yield point will mainly represent the breaking of interparticular contact. So the particle will behave or start behaving indivisibly. Okay. Coming towards our next question, yes, the well-known Arrhenius theory formula is Ka actation energy EA, that is the gas constant R, and that is going to be the temperature. Yes, each and everyone know that particular Arrhenius equation. So what is this equation? This is not going to be correct. So this will not contain a minus sign. This will having a minus sign but not e to the power. So this is not correct. This is not correct. So this is going to be the correct A is the right option of it. Okay. So yes, for what the Arrhenius equation is used for, it mainly used to predict the drug stability at the room temperature or the accelerated stability condition that are going to be 40%, 40 degrees Celsius plus minus 2% with 75% plus minus 5% of the relative humidity. Okay, yeah. Coming towards our next question, which of the following sterilization technique is being used for the heat sensitive medical devices? So they are asking just about the heat sensitive. So moist heat can't be there. Moist heat because it is a high temperature involvement. Dry heat also can't be there. The filtration, it is not a biological sample, or it is not a liquid preparation that has to be filtered out. So this can't be correct. Yes, the ethylene or the gaseous method. The gaseous method is going to be the correct option for the sterilization of these medical devices, and is also utilized for the sterilization of plastic syringes, catheters, IV catheters, that is going to be. Okay, sutures, certain kind of surgical dressings, the endoscope, the surgical gloves. Okay, yeah. But the dry heat is being done for the glassware, lab glassware, oils and the powder. The moist heat will mainly utilize the higher temperature. The filtration is only done for the either gas, not for the solid, and for the liquid as well. The Hoppless viscometer is also be commonly known as. Option A is the capillary, option B the rotational, option C is going to be the falling ball viscometer, and option D is the cone and plate viscometer. Yes. Okay, each and every one of you are getting good rank, will get good marks. I am just saying one thing, that how much you put your effort in during your preparation will just reflected by your marks. Okay, not less or not more. Just leave all the things on God that time. The thing that you have in your hand is your preparation. is the hard work that you have done, I know. Okay, that the all GDC team will done was done. So the thing that you have now in your hand is to just wait, is to just wait for your efforts. Okay, that will mainly give you the best results. And I assure you, each and every person that has put really very good effort or will sacrifice something for that particular exam preparation will going to get the good ranks. Okay, you can contact me also after getting good ranks. I assure you guys, each one of you who has put their efforts, okay, will get a good rank. So yes, we are discussing about the Hopler's viscometer, is most commonly known as the falling sphere viscometer, in which the ball is being kept in between these two compartments having a different solvent, and the ball has to be go from here to there. That is being indicated by the falling sphere viscometer. Yes, these are mainly the sample tubes. The ball that is mainly made up of steel will mainly the time for the ball to fall between the two marks. This is the one A marks and this is the B marks. The solvent will remains to be same throughout that particular Hopler's viscometer. The sigmoidal shape of the DRC, that is the dose response curve, is mainly due to logarithmic plot. They are mainly asking about the sigmoidal or S shape curve. Zero order kinetics? No, this is not going to be the first order kinetics. No. The drug instability? No. Yes, the logarithmic plot will always, if the dose of the drug is being taken as the log form of it, then it will mainly give the S shape. DRC will mainly, dose response curve will mainly give the S shape. Okay. If the dose will be taken as such, then it will mainly give the hyperbolic state. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so they are mainly discussing about the logarithmic plot. So yes, the sigmoidal shape is being given by the logarithmic plot itself. Okay, so yes, the log dose plotting on the x-axis will mainly give the sigmoid shape, but if actual dose or simple dose is being placed, they will give the hyperbola. This is mainly the hyperbola. Okay. ED50 is the effective dose, 50 potency and efficacy. What is potency? What is efficacy? You all know. The excipient used to reduces the dusting, okay, effect during the capsule filling. Magnesium stearate, that is going to be the lubricant, so-called lubricant. Lactose, that is going to be the diluent. Uh, Diluent. Yes, the only thing that is going to be act as an anti-adherent. 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 Okay, and the second thing, this is going to be the talc, that is the anti-adherent property, and the another property of the glidant. Yes, that will mainly facilitate the gliding motion of that particular talc from the hopper to that of the capsule filling machine, and the anti-adherent will mainly reduces its adherence to that of the dye wall, if this is the dye in the case of tablet. Okay, but with that of the feeder wall in the case of capsule filling machine. So yes, the glidant and anti-adherent will mainly improve the flowability and the uniform capsule filling. Magnesium stearate is the lubricant that is not being used in a concentration greater than 5%. Yeah, that will in turn, if used in greater than 5% concentration, will result in reduction of bioavailability. What is CMC? Easiest question that can ever exist. Critical molecular concentration? Nah. Critical micellar concentration? Yes. At which the micelle will start forming. So we don't have to go to these two options. Yes. At which the micelle will form is known as the critical micellar concentration. Okay. And the temperature at which the micelle will form is the Kraft point. If the Kraft point is the Kraft point. Coming to our next question, yes, this is the CMC, is the easiest question that can ever exist. Okay. In the parental preparation, the antioxidant that is being used, sodium chloride, antioxidant hota? No, this is not an antioxidant. Lactose is not an antioxidant. Ascorbic acid, that is the vitamin C, and sodium metabisulfite. Sodium bisulfite, sodium metabisulfite are the antioxidant that are being used for the parental preparations. Yes, this question is being already discussed by the ma'am in our class. The antioxidant that are being used in the pharmaceutical drug formulation is the same question that is come up from your NIPER JEE 2024 and is being also discussed in the lecture 71 of your NIPER JEE 2026 for sterile product, parental and ophthalmic in NIPER 360 series. Okay, so this question is again from our classroom. Okay, so the sodium sulfite or sodium metabisulfite are the reducing agent. Yes, coming to our next question, the lacrisite is the ophthalmic insert. There are different kind of ophthalmic insert, the aquacert, the lacrisert, which are type of this ocular insert. The soluble, the insoluble, the biodegradable, or the bioadhesive. So yes, answer this question fast. So the lachrysite will mainly utilizing the polymers that are water soluble in nature. So lachrysite is a kind of insert, ocular insert that is soluble in nature. So we don't need to remove that particular insert out of our eye. That will be itself will be formulated or dissolved as it will get, as it is inserted, or the drug content will be depleted with the period of time. It itself will be dissolved, not have to be removed. Okay, so it will mainly contain the different polymers like HPC, hydroxypropyl cellulose. That is a kind of water soluble polymer. Okay, and being used to treat the dry eye syndrome. Coming towards our next question, use of oil soluble emulsifying agent generally produce which kind of emulsion? This question is also from the Bancroft rule. Bancroft rule we have already discussed. So there are two questions from a single rule, that is going to be the Bancroft rule. So they are asking about the oil soluble emulsifying agent. So we can say yes, if oil soluble emulsifying agent or surfactant we are using, then we are mainly use them for the purpose where the oil is in excess. Yes, here the oil is in excess for the major portion. So yes, B is going to be the correct answer. Okay, so yes. And the surfactant that is being used, the span 80, is a kind of lipophilic surfactant, we can say. And the twin 80 we can say is a kind of hydrophilic surfactant. Okay, yeah. Now towards our next question, the 12% of drug ointment and the 16% of drug ointment are mixed to give the 1 kg of ointment that will having a concentration 12.5. Okay, so the highest concentration that they have 16%, the minimum concentration they have 12%, the intermediate concentration that they are willing to get is 12.5%. So we have to just follow the allegation rules, or we have to just cross them all. Okay, so how much percentage of 16% ointment will be required for that particular purpose? So we have to learn it. Okay, so this will be helpful. 16% here, 12% here, 12.5% here. Okay, so we have to just say that how much part we have to take. So we have to just minus it. So from the above we can write, let's 16 minus 12.5 we have to make, and down we have to write 12.5 minus 12. So out of it we will get 3.5, and out of it we will get 0.5. That can also be written in a ratio of that. This is of 16% and this is of 12%. That is being needed. Rounding of this particular ratio, we will get 7:1. Okay, so that says, that will mainly says, okay, this is 12%, this is 60%, 16%. That will mainly says 7 parts of 12% ointment that will be required, and 1 part of 16% ointment is required. Okay, so they are asking about how many parts. So amount of 16% ointment that is being required is what? Is 1% out of how many percent? Out of 8%. And the total concentration that we have to formulate is 1000 gram. If we take 1 kilogram in grams, okay, so that is going to be what? That is going to be 125 gram. Okay, so yes, 125 gram. If they are asking about the 12% concentration, so we can minus it with 1000 gram minus 125 gram. We will get the concentration of 12% ointment that is being required. That is going to be what? That is going to be 875 grams. But they are asking about 16%. So yes, 125 is going to be the correct answer. Moving towards our next question. Which of the following implant is commonly used in orthopedic patient? IUD, intrauterine, no, this is not being used. Dental, no, we are not using it for the dental purposes. Ocular, no, it is indicative of eye implant. So yes, the bone and the screw type of implant is being utilized for your orthopedic, as the option indicating themselves by their names. So if even a person not know the particular answer, then he or she can answer with his common sense. Yes, the bone and screw plate kind of implants being used. The bone plate, screw plate, intramedullary, the hip and the knee prosthetes we are going to be used. Okay, the drug shows the ideal AUC and the lower Cmax. Okay, why? So AUC, area under curve, will mainly an indicative of extent of drug absorption. Okay, so yes, extent of drug absorption is mainly indicated by the AUC, but the rate at which the drug is mainly going to our blood is mainly indicated by the Cmax. Okay, the rate of absorption. to the blood is mainly indicated by the Cmax. They are saying that the A shows the ideal AUC. AUC is okay, but Cmax is lower. So matlab means they mainly says the extent is the or the amount is okay, but the rate at which the given drug is going to the blood is very low. So we can say the rate of absorption will be decreased or will be low. So yes, B is going to be the correct answer of it. Okay. So yes, this is the definition we have already discussed. Coming to our next question, the instrument used in a hospital should be analytically validated, clinically validated, A and B both, none of these. Yes, they should be analytical as well as clinical validated. They have particular preciseness, accuracy, etc. And the clinically validation means they has to be utilized or is being designed in such a way that should be utilized over the human needs. So A and B both are going to be the correct. Yes, analytical validation means accuracy, precision, sensitivity, and specificity. The clinical validation means they are tested in the real hospital or the lab or the patient setting conditions. Okay. So yes, the porosity is commonly determined by the Karl Fischer. No, this is mainly done for the moisture content determination. The titration, this is not. The distillation, this is not. This is for the extraction purposes. Yes, the mercury intrusion method is being used because the mercury is only the kind of thing that will not go inside the pores, not go inside the pores, inside the particle pores. Okay. So yes, the particular mercury intrusion method is being used for that particular purpose. The porosity is mainly defined by the ratio of volume of the void volume to that of the total volume is mainly the porosity. Yes, and that will mainly important property that will mainly determine the packaging, the compressibility, flow property, and the dissolution. The mercury intrusion method or the mercury porosimetry is being used because mercury is a kind of non-wetting liquid that will not penetrate the pores until the pressure will be applied. Okay. Yes, coming to our next question, the schedule O matlab means O means there will be the complete absence of microbes, complete absence of microbes. Okay. Complete of absence of microbe is being created by the biological product that are going to be vaccine or serum. No. Prescription medication that belongs to the schedule H. The biological products will belong to the schedule C and C1. Okay. The disinfectant, yes, they will mainly ensure the zero or the complete absence of microbes. So yes, the schedule O mainly stand for the disinfectant fluids. The poisons is not related to that particular schedule. Okay. The poison is mainly have to be excreted out if taken. If someone taken the poison, that has to be excreted out of the body immediately. So schedule E1 is being used for the poisons. Okay. Yes. So this is going to be the definition or the explanation of our today's class. Okay, that are related to your some topics. I think all you guys have done the definition or the things in a correct way, in a correct manner. Okay, I have to just hand over the class to the another coming teacher. Indu sir will handle your class. Okay, I have to just inform once to the team. So in the meantime, please let me know how was you feeling after exam. What are you planning to do? How is your exam went? Okay, tell me all the things. Tell me all the things, please. Yeah, I am here to listen your experiences from the today's exam. I just have to make a call. Yeah. So how was your exam? Yeah. So thank you so much for giving your precious time. And the coming section of that particular NIPER JEE memory-based questions are being discussed by our faculty, that is Indu sir. Okay, thank you so much for giving your precious time. I hope you guys enjoyed that particular section. Thank you so much.
Hello, dear students. Welcome back to GDC Class English for the NIPER 2026, NIPER JE 2026 memory based questions. Okay, so I hope all my students wrote the exam well. I'm audible, first of all. I'm audible properly. I'm audible. Yeah. So I'm audible. So just now I confirmed from myself. Yeah. So today in this live session, I'm going to discuss what are the non-pharma questions that are given in your NIPER JE examination. We know that the NIPER exam is comprised of pharma as well as non-pharma, right? So on an average, we got 23 questions. 23 questions. Okay, if I'm not wrong, we got 23 questions from the non-pharma part. Okay, and do remember whatever happened is happened. You gave your best, and let us leave the rest of the things to the destiny. Okay, yeah. So are you ready, my dear students? Are you ready? Question is not like that. Okay, are you ready? Yes. So in this today, what we have observed from the NIPER JE examinations, when we asked about the students, okay, so they felt like, sir, it's a uh, uh, okay, it's tough to moderate. In between that, we got the question, but for your satisfaction, for your clarity, we will be expanding these questions. Okay, yes. So now the first question in the NIPER Pharma, okay, non-pharma questions are. So this is the question I think. Okay, so the T-shirt has marked the price of 500 rupees, and the shopkeeper, okay, gives a discount of 20% okay on it, and still earns the 25% profit. And what is a price? Okay, what's the cost price of the T-shirt? See, for that reason, I hope, okay, so one of our faculty member, I hope Neelamam, she have taken the classes for non-pharma, especially in that arithmetic reasoning will be there, right? So for that, you have a formula for the cost price. Okay, cost price problems questions will be there, right? So for the reason, first of all, for such type of questions, what you need to do is try to mark the values that are given in this question. Okay, so actual price of this, actual price is 500 rupees, and how much discount they have given? 20% rupees, 20%. And finally, even after giving 20% of the discount, he earned 25 percentage. How? Because see, so what is the formula for that? And first of all, what is the answer for this one? 78th question. 78th question. Can you please mention the question number and the answer? 78th question. So yes, as we all are not, as we all, most of the students, especially from the B.Pharm, okay, they have opted this pharmacy. Why? Because we are afraid of the mathematics, right? So that's why it will be very curious, and it will be no, the non-pharma will be a deciding factor sometimes as well. Okay, what's the right answer for this question? Which question you have opted? Sorry, which option you have opted? If you know the formula for cost price, so for that, what you need to know? Selling price, okay, and the discount price. So if you know these values, and then you know the price, okay. The value, the right answer is 320 rupees. The value is okay 320 rupees, even though the price of the t-shirt is 320 rupees. How? Let us see the formula. See, if you know this formula, cost price formula, that is selling price into 100, okay, divided by 100 plus profit of its percentage. That's why, first of all, whenever you had such type of questions, try to note it down, the values that are given in the question. Okay, so like how you can see, so the marketed price is 500, and the discount is 20%, which means after deducting the percentage, after deducting the discount, okay, the final value will be 400. Okay, 400. Now the selling price is after the discount, the selling price is 400. SP means selling price is 400 into 100 divided by profit of its percentage. What is the profit of its percentage? 25. What is the profit of its percentage? 25. So 100 plus 25, 125. 125 divided by, okay, 400 into 100, that is 320 rupees. So that's a value. That's the answer for this question. Got my point? So for that reason, whenever you're following such type of arithmetic questions, you need to remember such formulas. Okay. So that's it. So that's the right answer for this question. I hope you opted the right one. And next one. Okay. So, father and daughter, 79th question. Father and daughter present age ratio is 2:1. Do remember, for such type of questions, decimals and the values are very, very important. Okay, they'll be saying that, okay, the ratio, the father ratio is 2 times and the daughter ratio is 1 time. Okay, and 20 years ago, which means 20 years ago, they have given with hints. With that hints only, we need to develop or we need to build the, okay, hints. Okay, and the father is was 10 times, father is was 10 times of the daughter's age, 10 times of the daughter's age. Now, what is the age of the father? Now, what is the age of father? See, here we only have the ratio and the 10, but we don't have any value. For the reason, what we need to do, we need to find out the value of x. Okay, I'll let you know. So now, what is the right answer? What option you have opted in your exam? May I know that? What option you have choose? Either it is a 40 years or 45 years or 50 years or 55 years. Okay. So only 4 questions from the arithmetic and reasoning we got. Okay. Remaining all from current affairs. Okay. Yes. Let me reveal the right answer. The right answer is 45. So how it will be the 45? I'll let you know. Okay, you can see here first and foremostly. Okay, so we don't know the age of the daughter. Why? Because they have mentioned, right? Sent 10 times. Even though they have given the hint, the father age is 10 times. Okay, 10 times greater, 10 times. Okay, you're going with option B. Yes, the B is right answer. But I'll let you know why it is. Okay, the daughters, we don't know the daughters. That's why we have taken as X. But what is the age of father? 2 times. Why? Because 2:1 ratio means, right? Because we don't know the value of daughter. That's why we have kept as, okay, X. And the father value is 2 times greater. That's why 2X. Okay. And after 20 years ago, 20 years ago, the daughter's age will be, okay, X 20, okay, X minus 20, and father's age is 2X minus 20. Now, okay, father says 20 years ago, which means is equal to, the father says 20 years ago is equal to 10, which means 10 times, right? 10 times of the daughter's age. 10 times of the daughter's age into 20 years ago. So this is the condition. This is a condition. So this is a condition. But how to solve it? Why? Because see here, okay. So first of all, father age. Father age is, we know that 2x. 2x means why? Because 2 times 2x, okay, and 20. 2x and 20. So you can see here 2x and 20. You can directly take here. Okay. And the daughter's age is 10 times 10 into this formula. That is x into 20. Daughter's age. Got my point? See, this is a father age. Okay, why? Because, okay, we know that this is a father age already we have sorted. Okay, and then followed by, okay, so the daughter's age is 10 times. Okay, 10 times. Okay, 10 into the daughter's age. So now we can resolve it. Okay, okay. So here when you solve this one, okay, 2 2 into, so then we have solved the question. Okay, here itself. Yes. Okay. So when you multiply that one, we got this value. Okay, 220, right? 2 into x. Okay, what's the x value here? Okay, so 2 into x, 200 is equal to 20 and minus. Okay, we have this formula. Okay, then when you minus this one, okay, we got 180. Okay, 180, and when you minus 10x minus 2x, we got 8x. 10x minus, okay, 10x minus, sorry, 10x minus 2x, we got 8x. And when you take this x this side, okay, will be divided by, okay, 180 divided by 80. 180 divided by 8, the value is 22.5. Okay, 22.5 is the age of daughter. 22.5 is a age of daughter. Okay, now 2:1 ratio, which means into 2, which means the age is 45. So finally, 22.5 is the age of daughter. So obviously, yeah. And when you take the ratio 2:1, the 45 is the answer. Okay. Yes. Here. Now the next question. Come on. So now in the 18th question. So what is the right answer? In a garden, 40% of the flowers are yellow and 40% of the flowers are pink. So now they have given hint. Within the hint, you need to find out the right answer. Okay. 40% is, okay, 40% is of flowers are yellow. 40% is flowers are, okay, pink. So now Okay. So they will ask me if the total number of flowers is 150. Okay, double on 5 to. Okay. How many flowers are neither pink or nor yellow? Simple. So what is the total of this one? Total of this one 80% is. Okay, 80%. So rest of the 20% will be the rest of the 20% will be the neither pink or nor yellow. So now when you take the 20% from this 1152, that will be your answer. Clear? Because they're asking, they have given. Okay. So in the 100, okay, in the given number of flowers, 40% are yellow, 40% are pink. Remaining is 20% is that 20% will be the neither pink or nor yellow. So when you take the 20% of this given 1152, then you're going to get the value. So the value is, okay, the value is, you can see 230.4. 230 point will be the answer. 230 point will be the answer. So how it will be, as that's what I said. Okay, 40% are pink and 40% are yellow. So 80% is, okay. So remaining is 20% is 20 by 100 into 0.2, 0.2 into 1152. Okay, 0.2 into 1152, 230.4. Okay, so the right answer is 230.4. So you need to find the link. Okay, so in the given options itself. Okay, now the question is relationship based question. Okay, Sheila is a sister of Kusuma. Okay, Sheila is a sister of Kusuma. Okay, Kusuma is a daughter of. So let us write. Okay, for such type of questions, you need to maintain. Okay, you need to use a blank. Okay, blank space. Kusuma relationship. Okay, Kusuma is a sorry. Sheila is a sister of Kusuma. Kusuma is a daughter of Mandola. Mandola is a wife of Dhruv. Now they will be asking, now the question is how Dhruv is related to Sheila. Okay, how Dhruv is related to Sheila. Okay, she's a wife, right? She's a wife and he is a father, right? And now, obviously, Sheila is a sister of Kusuma. So both are sisters, which means both are sisters. Obviously, see, if Mandola, see, if Kusuma is a daughter of Dhruv, obviously Sheila is also a daughter of Dhruv. So obviously Dhruv will be the father, right? What my point? Sheila is a sister of Kusuma. Kusuma is a daughter of Mandola. Mandola is the wife of father. Obviously, okay. So now, if the Kusuma is a sister, then obviously if the Kusuma is a daughter, then Sheila is also daughter. So which means he becomes a father. Okay, is this clear? So father, that's the right answer. Okay, so that's what it said. Okay, Sheila is a sister of Kusuma, and Kusuma is the daughter of Mandola. Mandola is the wife of Dhruv. Therefore, obviously, so both are sisters. Obviously, if one is a daughter, okay, ultimately the other one is also his daughter. Oh, now the next question. Come on. Okay, antonym of virtue. Now it is English. Okay, come on. So virtue, the antonym. They're asking about antonym. Okay, which means similar opposite words. Morality, honesty, wise, and kindness. Virtue. Come on, what option you have opted for this question? What option you have opted for this question? Come on. Okay, very good, very good. So the right answer is obviously, okay, virtue. Virtue means, okay, virtue, the opposite, the antonym word is wise. The antonym word is wise. Why? Because see, wise is the opposite word, opposite meaning. Whereas morality is also meaning, similar meaning. Morality, honesty, virtue, okay, and kindness. These are all similar words. Okay. Yes, but whereas wise is the opposite word. Yes, that's it. And now the next question. A poem with 40 lines is called ode, sonnet, and ballad and epic. Okay, the poem with 14 lines is called as ode, sonnet, okay, ballad and epic. What is the right answer for this question? Come on. 14 lines. If it is a 14 lines, what will be the right answer? Okay, what is the right answer? Okay, so yes, so that's the right answer. Obviously, sonnet, 14 lines means sonnet. You can see here, a sonnet is a poem consisting of 14 lines. Okay, it is nothing but a containing 14 lines, usually written as a specific rhyme of scheme and a meter. Okay, examples are like, okay, Shakespeare's sonnet and Petrarchan's sonnet. But whereas when it go for the remaining options, okay, ode means a lyrical poem. Ode means a lyrical poem. Okay, expressing the praise or emotion. But sonnet means a 14-line poem. Sonnet means, okay, and ballad means a narrative poem or a song. Narration, if you're good, okay, if you're giving the narration, then it's a ballad. Okay, epic means a long narrative poem about a heroic deeds. Okay, epic means it is a long narrative poem about a heroic deeds like a Bahubali. Okay, yes. Now next question. Choose the synonym of vigilant. Okay, synonym which means similar word. Synonym means similar word. Okay, vigilant, vigilance. Okay, vigilance means inspecting. Okay, inspecting or maybe checking. These type of word. 84th question. Come on, dear students. 84th question. Okay, so for 84th question is vigilant. Vigilance means vigilance, right? Pharmacovigilance. Vigilant means inspecting or checking law. Okay, now, so negligent, lazy, careless, and watchful. So what is the right answer? Obviously, vigilance means checking or vigilance. Okay, nothing but watchful. Okay, the right answer is watchful here. Okay, watchful is a right answer. Okay, yes. Whereas you can see here, careless means opposite. Obviously, watchful means vigilance is nothing but a kind of checking or watchful. Okay, yes, the right answer. Now choose the correct spelling here. Okay, what is the correct spelling here? Sedentary, sedentary, okay, and sedentary. What is the right? What is the spelling here? So that's why check the spelling questions also very important. Okay, what is the right answer for this question? Sedentary, sedentary. Yes, obviously it is a sedentary lifestyle. Okay, that's a kind of example I can tell you. Sedentary type of lifestyle. Okay, sedentary. Okay, yes, and yes, obviously sedentary lifestyle. That's what I said. Okay, so mostly sit entire day. Sedentary lifestyle means like it's kind of a lazy or okay. Yes, so physical, very little with very little physical activity. That means lazy. Sedentary lifestyle. Okay, yeah. Now the next one. In which state and UTs are famous for tulip garden located? Now the question is from current affairs. That's why current affairs are important. Arithmetic and reasoning, English. Okay, comprehension. These are important. Okay, now, so in which state or UT is famous for tulip garden? Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Jammu Kashmir and Punjab. Okay, I'll give you one hint also just to remember how to remember even after the question. Okay, so tulip. The tulip is nothing but T for tulip, right? T for tulip. The right answer is Jammu Kashmir. So the hint is T for tulip. Okay, tulip is a top. Okay, what is this? What is top in India? Which is the top state in Jammu and Kashmir, right? Clear? So in the top, what we have? Jammu and Kashmir. T for tulip, T for top. Okay, in India, in the top position or in the top position of India, what we had? Jammu and Kashmir. Clear? Yes. So it is an Indira Gandhi Memorial Tulip Garden, also known as a Srinagar Tulip. Okay, garden located in the Srinagar, Jammu Kashmir, and is the largest tulip garden in Asia. Right, remember another important point is largest tulip garden in Asia, and it's situated in the foothills of Jabadwan Range. Okay, overlooking Dal Lake. Okay, on the lake it is there. Okay, but whereas Himachal is not. Okay, Uttarakhand is incorrect. Yes, Jammu Kashmir is correct. Okay, T for tulip and T for tulip. Tulip is in the top of India, which means in top of India, which state we had? Jammu and Kashmir or UT, and also they have given a hint also, state or UT. Okay, so this remaining are mostly they are all states. Only one hint they have given directly. They have given the hint here. Okay, so they given the hint. Okay, neither state or not. Okay, neither state or not UT. That's it. Union Territory. So that's the hint that is given. And now the next question: which siblings have won the Nobel Prize? Wright brothers, Jan Tinbergen and Nicholas Tinbergen, and Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright and brothers Grimm. That is also okay. What I can say, a current affairs question. What is the right answer for this question? Okay. So this is the current affairs question. Yes, obviously these two people, Tinbergen and Nicholas Tinbergen, these two people have won the Nobel Prize, and you can see here they have both won Nobel Prize. Okay, they won Nobel Prize. Jan Tinbergen won Nobel Prize in 1969, Nobel Prize in Economic Science. Okay, whereas Nicholas Tinbergen won the 1970 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Okay, yes. They are the few siblings. When you check history, they are the few. They are one of the few siblings paid to have a both received the Nobel Prize. Okay, so in history, you should remember. Okay, in general knowledge. So it is from the general knowledge question. Okay, so for such type of important personalities, especially unique personalities, like very few instances are there. Like so siblings, it's a very few very few situations. There, these are going to happen. That's why few unique events you should remember. Next, choose the synonym of frugal. So synonym is similar words, which is the same meaningful words. Okay, wasteful, extravagant, and economical and lavish. Frugal synonym. Frugal synonym is obviously okay. Yes, the right answer is economical. Frugal means it is an economical. Okay, yes, yes, economical. It is nothing but a economical. Same way. Whereas extravagant or wasteful means no opposite meanings. Lavish. Okay, frugal means economical. And now, so find the next term in the series. Yes, okay, series. Okay, sequence of series. They are very important. Try to remember when you got such type of questions. Either okay, the series will follow an even number, okay, or an odd number. Do remember, okay, even number or odd number. That may be two. Okay, the multiplication of two. Okay, multiplication two into four multiplied. Okay, so like multiplication or as odd number, right? Okay, 1, 3, okay, 5, like that. Okay, you need to cross check. So you need to find out the difference between the two digits. How much difference will be there? Okay, so based on that you can find out the difference. So what is the difference between here? Okay, 13. So 2. So 13 into 2, 26. Okay, 26 into 2, how much? 26 into 2, 52. 52. And then followed by the difference. You can see here. The next number is 104. Why? Because you can see the difference. Okay, so 2, 4, 8. Okay, 13 into 2, 26. 13 into 4, 50, 52. And 13 into 8, 104. That's what I said. See, the number will be repeat. Even number, even sequence will repeat. Even sequence. So 2, 4, 8. So the next number is 104. Now, what is a synonym of insane? What is synonym of insane? Wise, mad, calm, and honest. Wise, calm. Okay, what is the right answer? Anyone to respond? Yes, obviously insane. The synonym means he's insane, right? So usually this is the word. Usually, most of the celebrities they are going to use. Okay, now the Gen Z is using this word. Okay, he's insane, which means he's a mad. Okay, nothing but he's a kind of mad. Okay, crazy. Like insane means like he's a crazy. Okay, crazy. Now, so what is synonym is mad. So which also represents someone is not in a normal mental state. Okay, he's in a hyperactive. We can use it. Wise means intelligent. Obviously, is the opposite word. Calm is obviously it is not at all related, and honest is also not at all related. Okay, in some ways, it is kind of crazy person. Okay, now find the odd one out. Find the odd one out. Okay, so come on, tell me what's the odd one here. So that's why first of all you should read the options: speed, okay, acceleration and gravity and momentum. Okay, so in this you can observe one difference is that phenomenon. Okay, it's a phenomenon, but whereas these are the measurements of the units, you can see. So obviously, okay, the gravity is a odd one. Why? Because you can see here, okay, speed is a, okay, rate. Speed is a rate. Obviously, it is all the rate of the measurement. It's a scalar quantity. Acceleration is also a rate. Okay, which means they are the measurements. Okay, and also it is also a rate or, okay, or measurement. But whereas gravity is a force or a field. Okay, it is a phenomenon. It is a phenomenon. Okay, yeah. But whereas these three are the, okay, events. These three are the measurements for an event. I hope you understand. Okay, that's why it is a different from the other one. So that's what I said. It's a physical quantity. Okay, and gravity is a phenomenon or a force. That's it. That's it. Very good. And now, what is the antonym of coset? Coset. Okay. Yes, you're going to coset your closest one. You know, you need to coset your closest one. C for coset and C for closest. That do remember like that. Okay. So what will be the right answer? Okay. I know that most of the students they have left these questions. Okay, that's why no one is responding in the comment box. But need not to worry, I'll be explaining. So those are the right answer. Okay, we got the questions and we have reviewed them, and these are the right answer. You can, okay, make a mark and count your marks accordingly. Okay, now the right answer is coset means, okay, neglect. Okay, coset means neglect. So it means neglecting. Coset means neglect, not a pampering. Okay. So coming to the point, so you can see. So coset means treat someone with excessive care and pamper. Okay. And so its opposite word is neglect. Okay. So coset, that's what I said. See for coset, you should, okay. See for close. For the closest people, you do the pampering, right? But whereas opposite word is neglect. Opposite word is neglect. So to ignore or not take care of someone. Okay. Yeah. Coset. So that means it's kind of pampering, simple. Now, okay, what does NAM stand for the USFDA context? Okay, National Assessment Model. Okay, new approachment methodologies, new approval mechanism. Okay, novel animal method. Obviously, it is about, okay, USFDA, right? When it is about USFDA, definitely it is a, okay, drugs act, right? Okay, so regarding the drugs, obviously regarding the drugs and dosage forms. So what will be the right answer? NEM stand for, it is for, okay, it's about a national assessment model. No, it is not regarding the nation. Okay, it is about completely medical field, complete about dosage forms. So obviously you can eliminate this option. Okay, so USFDA is not only for animals, so that you can eliminate this option also. So that's why elimination method works everywhere. Okay, new approach methodologies, new approach methodologies. So USFDA is a regulatory body for US. Okay, so that it will design and gives a regulations. So obviously it is a one body which can design and which can review the new methodology. So that NAM stand for new approach methodologies. So that's the right answer. And now, yes, USFDA, okay, Food and Drugs Administration, NA refers to the, okay, new approach methodologies to assess the safety and efficacy of drugs without relying heavily on animal testing. Okay, yes, without relying heavily on the animal testing. Now, 94th question, in the 5C network, G stands for what? So it is a general knowledge question. It's a very tough, right? Very tough question. I hope. Is it tough? Okay. So obviously G4, it is not a gateway, it is not for a global, it's not a gigabyte. We know it is a G4 generation, 5Z, fifth generation, right? So we have this many generation, we are the fifth generation, right? So obviously it is a mobile network technology, it is about general knowledge question. Okay. So gateway is different, gateway is not related to the mobile network roaming. Global, it's an incorrect expansion, but whereas gigabyte is nothing but a data unit to measure the data. And yes, A4 generation. Now, so now coming to the point, yes, A started typing an exam at 9 a.m. with a speed of 60. See, try to note down the values. Okay, 9 a.m. and they have started, and it's a speed of 60 words per minute. 60 words per minute. Okay, and B starts. Okay, B starts work at 9:30 Okay, with the speed of 90, the speed of 90 words per minute, okay, at what time they will type, they have typed the same number of words, okay. So uh so we have these values, and with this we are going to solve this one. So first of all, when you have such type of questions, you need to, okay, use the blank space, and you need to write the given answer. The right answer is 10:30, but I'll be giving you the explanation. See here, so A started work at 9 okay, and the time, we don't know the time. We don't know the time at what time they've started, but we know the value of, okay, 60 words per minute. 60 words per minute. And B started the work at 9:30, and B works for 30 minutes. And we have one link here, because the difference between the 9 and 9:30 is 30 minutes. So we know that the work is 30 minutes. Okay, and the word for speed is 90, okay, into x minus 30. So when we equate the both of the formulas, when we get the both of them, okay, 60 is for the work done by A, okay, words typed by the A, and whereas 90 into x minus 30 is a work done by the B. So now when we solve this one, okay, clear. See, when you take in this 9 to 90 inside the bracket, so it will multiply. So 90 to x, 90x, 90 to 30, 2700. Okay. So when you take this 2000, sorry, when you take this, or else when you cross multiply, okay. So sorry, when you take the 60 this side, so it will becomes minus. It will becomes minus. So 90 minus 60 is equal to 30. Okay. And when you take this 30 here, okay, when you take this 30 here, okay, sorry, when you take the x here, so 2700 by 90 is equal to, okay, so this is the value, and we are going to get that value. Okay, yes. Okay, so actual time is 90, and yes, obviously 10:30 a.m. is the right answer. Yes. So obviously north becomes east, east becomes north. Okay, you can see here, north becomes east. Okay, east becomes north. Okay, east becomes north. Okay, and west becomes south. South becomes east. Okay, and west becomes south. West becomes south. Now the question is, the Indian Ocean, which lies to the south of India, is a normal map, will be which direction? Okay, will be which direction? So then accordingly, so when you have it, so that's why immediately you should think of map. You should draw a map here itself. Okay, so they'll be asking the south. Okay, they'll be saying that the Indian Ocean presence lies to the South India, lies to the South India, and which side will be there? Okay, which side? And the right answer is, okay, right answer is east. Why? Because you can see here. Okay, so then the normal map of India, the Indian Ocean is in the south direction. Now convert the south. So they have given the hint. South becomes east. South becomes east. Obviously, it in the east. Yes. And now find the odd one out. Find the odd one out. Dengue, okay, pertussis, cholera, and typhoid. Okay, what is the right answer? Dengue, pertussis, cholera, and typhoid. Okay, so there are some. Right answer is dengue. Why? Because you can see three are bacterial. Okay, they are diseases. Okay, so whereas three are bacterial diseases, one is viral. One is viral. So that's why. So one is viral infection or viral disease. Remaining three are bacterial infection. That's why it is an odd one. Okay, and now 98th question. Come on. Spoke, wheel, and hands. Spoke, wheel, and hands. So for that reason, you should know these are the parts, okay? So the entirely is different word. Spoke, wheel, and hands. Spoke means not a word, or it's not a kind of okay. Well, it is a part of the. It is a part of the clock. So what is the right answer for this one? The right answer is, okay, it is a clock. Why? Because see, you can see here. Solution, spoke is a part of wheel. Okay, similarly, hands are the part of clock or watch, but whereas Spoke is a thin rod or a bar that connects with the center of the wheel. Spoke. Okay. Right? In the spoke, actually in the wheel part, spokes are there now. So obviously supports the wheel. So it helps to support the wheel and maintain the shape and transfer the weight to the force. So that's why that is the odd one. Yeah. So so these are the questions I think so, and we didn't get the remaining questions, okay, because even though right after immediately we have collected the questions, we tried to collect the questions from the students, and could you please tell me what are the remaining two questions are from the non-pharma? I think hands, nails, there is some questions, okay, we didn't get fully. Okay, but I know that you have tried your best, okay, and leave the rest to the God. You tried your best and leave the rest to the God, okay? And the destiny will decide. I know that, okay? If you really works hard for your dream, really it pays off. Need not to worry, okay? And yes, have a nice sleep, okay? Sleep peacefully. Don't think, okay? Don't overthink. You done, okay? You have done your job, okay? Let the exam decide, okay? So what are the two remaining questions? Do you know, my dear students, what are the two remaining questions? Is there any other questions? And but coming to the point, yes, see, when you look at most of the questions are from this area. So you can see reasoning, from the reasoning you got a blood relation question, odd and out question, series completion, direct sanction, and analogy. These are the questions we got. And whereas in the aptitude profit loss of t-shirt question, age problem, okay, that is from the daughter, okay, daughter and father, percentage question. Percentage question is nothing but the pink and yellow flower, okay, speed and time question, nothing but the typing question, okay, and whereas antonyms we have synonyms, voice, passive and active, one word substitution, and a spelling correction. So I think these are the questions we got, or any other questions I have repeated, or any other questions I have given an example in our exam. But mostly from the non-farmer, these are the questions, so that so the students who are watching this video, maybe if you're watching in the 2027, for you guys I'll be telling, so we should focus on these areas. If you're preparing for non-farmer, okay, 80 to 90 to 95% the questions will be coming from this one. Okay, it's a 99%. 99% the question will be coming from these areas only, so that you will give a best to this one when it comes to non-farmer. Okay. Yes, I hope you got the right answers. Okay. So before the official key, you got the right answer. You know the okay right answer for these questions. Okay, and satisfy your soul and take a rest, take a deep breath, and you have done. The race is completed. Okay, and let the results decide. Okay, thank you so much, my dear students. We'll see in the next upcoming classes. Until then, okay, you're the champion. Trust the process. It will be gives you the good results. Okay, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you. Have a great day and good night. Good night.